but also fun, light.
Mm.
And this probably makes a lot of difference when Journey, Queen, everyone how was it to record with the soundtrack of the movie Rockstar?
It was amazing.
Was it an invitation or you started
It was an invitation. The late 90s. Now, let me see. Let me go back. But I think it was 91. I was very good friends. I still am very good friends with the band Stryper. And they were recording their first non-secular album. Basically, an album that wasn't so driven with with the Holy Spirit, and everything before that was all about Jesus and, Christianity. They wanted to make an album that focused just on being a badass rock band. So they kind of stripped the Christian side away, and they made an album called Against the Law. And I remember getting a call from Michael Sweet saying, would you be into coming down and singing background on the album? Because we just want a stronger sound. When we sing backgrounds on all the records, it sounds like Angel singing. We want to sound more like a gang. And we know your voice is big and it can add a different timbre to what we normally do. I said, of course, I'd love to do this. So I went into the studio, and there was Tom Werman. Anybody in the music business knows the name Tom Werman as the producer from 70s, 80s into the 90s. He did Ted Nugent, Cheap Trick. In the 80s, he did Poison, Motley Crue, you name it. It's unbelievable, his resume. So that's the first time I met and worked with Tom, and I sang pretty much all the songs with Stryper. And from there, Tom got my number. He said, man, I could use you. Because he always had his go-to guys for backing vocals for all the records that he made. He always had the same guys for the, backing vocals for Motley Crue and all, whatever. And I guess he started losing some of them, and to the point where he was always looking out for fresh talent. And so I sang background on the next 5 releases that Tom made that he was producing, and then he retired. The last one was a band called it was Babylon AD, Pariah. It was the last band. And I remember the first time I went in to sing background, and one of the guys in the band, his girlfriend was there. The band was from Austin, Texas, and the girlfriend happened to be Renee Zellweger. She wasn't even starting as an actress yet, but when she was in California, just hanging with her boyfriend while they're recording, cool. She made some contacts, and boom, she became a movie star later.
I'm a huge fan of her.
Yeah. So this was 96, I believe we made this record. I sang backgrounds for the Pariah album. It's Tamaka Killingbird, I think is the name of the album. And then he retired. He said, that's it. I've been doing this long enough. He bought a B&B, bed and breakfast in Maine. And it's like a little hotel where, like, it was a house. He turned all the rooms into like a place where you just go for the night. You wake up, you have breakfast. It's beautiful, serene nice. And quiet. He says, that's the life I want.
Still doing it.
Yeah. And so he went to start that. And then 5 years later, he got a call from the director and the people doing the ROCKSTAR soundtrack. Listen, Tom, we know you're retired, but you're the man. You're the only one that can do this. You're the man for this. Please, let's pull you out of retirement for one more. And every time I sang background on the albums with Tom Werman, I did the Lita Ford Dangerous Curves album. We did Steelheart's second album. I forgot. There was quite a few records we did. Every time we were working together, he said, man, someday I want to produce you as a lead singer. Bring it on. Let's do it. Go on. But then he retired, so we lost that chance. And apparently when they were writing down names and ideas for singers, they were trying people out. They even tried Miles Kennedy out, but he only got his voice at the end of the movie. They weren't going to use him for the main bulk of the movie. And one of the ones they locked in early was Millie from Steelheart, the singer for Steelheart. Ironically, we worked together on their second album. So it was from there that I think Tom made the suggestion, what about Jeff Scott Soto? Zach Wilde is in the room, Jeff Pilson's in the room, Jason Bonham. Yeah, call Jeff. Perfect. You got to get Jeff in here.
Cool.
And so I think I demoed one of the first songs at home, sent it to them. This is great. Come down. Let's do it in the studio. So I finally got to work with Tom Werman, producing me as a lead singer.
And a hell of a band. Right?
Yeah.
And
originally I was supposed to be singing for the Mark Wahlberg character, but they felt my voice was too mature sounding. They thought I don't sound I don't sound amateur enough. Not that Millie does, but Millie has a naturally higher, younger sounding voice than I do. My voice was like bellow, deep, full on. And they thought my voice would match. It would make more sense for my voice to be for the original singer, who's an older guy. He's the seasoned guy. He's been in the band since the beginning. It made more sense for my voice to be his. So that's why Millie got to sing for Mark, and I got to sing for the original singer in Steel Panther, Steel Dragon. All these steels. Steel Heart, Steel Dragon, Steel Panther.
Were the songs all written by then?
There were some other ones that I demoed that they didn't use. There was a really heavy, badass song that Zach brought in. What's the name of this song? False Crown Hood, something like that. It was really cool. I remember asking Zach, hey man, they never used that for the soundtrack. Can I use that with my band SOTO? And he never replied.
He never replied.
Yeah.
Well, but maybe he's got plans to use it too.
Probably. Maybe he did. But yeah, I did all the songs, including the ones I did "Long Live Rock and Roll" that was done in with this Steel Panther singer in the movie. I did "We All Die Young," all the ones that I didn't end up singing in the movie. I still sang them all because the director and the musical supervisor wanted to hear what everybody sounded like on every song before they started assigning.
Cool.
Yeah.